Alright, folks, we are back. And up next, we've got the Forgotten City, which looks Roman-ish? We can play it on our Steam Deck that I don't have. Why is this so quiet? Autosave. Don't leave home without it. Alright. This game is full of intrigue and plot twists. Please give your audience a spoiler warning before sharing content from beyond the white hallway, so that interested players can fully enjoy the experience for themselves if they wish to. Alright, well, here's your spoiler warning. Spoiler warning beyond the white hallway. Whatever the white hallway is. Let me check out the settings. 1 minute. Alright. Not too bad. Just had to disable motion blur. New game. Message from the developers. Developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Wow. Mystery adventure with multiple endings. Not brute force? Come on now. Violence is always the answer. Present day.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Interesting, the hands change. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Sure, whatever, I don't care. Skin tone. Go with that one.
Well,
all right.
It's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Years of studying history give you occasional insights into the ancient world. You have a military-issued firearm, but only 10 bullets. You have to use them judiciously since there's no way to get more. Oh, man. Run from the law. 25% faster in sprinting. 50% harder to take down. Ah, man. They said combat wasn't really the answer, so I don't think we need... We'll go with ancient ruins.
You're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
So you barely know us. We've got something we randomly floating down the river, who the hell knows why, and yet you've determined that we are the best hope to find this dude. Let's ask some questions.
Of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
You tried calling for help?
An idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. Not much,
ruins.
really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
Al? Who is Al?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
He was the dude that washed up on the river right before us? What the hell is going on here?
You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber. Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
I'd really like to know.
Alright, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Karen. Karen confirmed. Why didn't you want to tell me your name?
If you really
Wait,
wanna
one of
know
those
the
things said
tragic
Karen
details,
memes.
Perhaps I can fill you in after you find Al? Oh, there's not much.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell me your name.
All right.
Oh, those Karen memes have really ruined that name, huh?
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems, like finding Al.
Nice.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Heavy duty. We can examine. Looks like a flashlight to me. Quid the pro quo. Okay. Raise my flashlight. Yep, we got some ruins here. With, you know, the typical burning torches that never go out. Must have been lit by Al. I'm going the right way. Bro, why are you lighting all of these torches? Shift to sprint. Backpack. Full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here. Seems strange that Al left it here. We're not going to take this? Why would we leave that? That's primo loot. Anything back here? Just an invisible wall. Okay. Wow, that's very egregious. Like, just that's blatant right in your face. You can't go that way. Hate it when games do that shit. Al's note.
It means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten. All knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? People have survived down there, against the odds. It seems there's only one way to find out.
So...
If I'm not back in an hour...
Oh, what?
I'm somewhere on the other side.
Why'd the doors
Consider
close?
this an invitation. Or a warning. Al Worth.
Whoa! Hello? Alright. Let's inspect this statue. Ancient Roman statue of an unknown man in an inscrutable pose. One hand seems to welcome, the other seems to warn. Alright. Cowabunga it is, I suppose. Cowabunga. Yeah, so there's been... Oh, fuck. Water. Get me out of here. So there's been a secret underground society of Roman cave dwellers. Dude, you know how much these shits would be worth? It's like solid gold. But, yeah, that's right, we have a flashlight. Damn, you know how much money this stuff would be worth? I'm getting, like, Path of Exile vibes here. The, Act 4, you know, when they're going up the Tower of God, if you've played Path of Exile. Great game. Should play that some more. But I'm waiting for Path of Exile 2 to come out, and it's taking their sweet time. Mid-strike. What could have made a gladiator flee? Yeah, my concern is that it's gold, and dude was running. So hopefully nothing turns us into gold. Loading zone, I see, I see. Yeah, looks like she was begging for her life. Oh god! I am so sorry. Okay, didn't know we could do that. Yeah, looks like some bad shit went down. Where is this light coming from? Why is it light in here? If we were really underground, it'd be pure fucking black. What is this, like, Pompeii here? Everybody got turned to fucking gold. Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. Roman legionary in a state of terror. Yeah, all the people here got fucking turned into gold. This is a great place to be. Ah, it's like that one part in Tomb Raider 1 where there was like the statue of Midas. If you touched it, Lara Croft got turned into gold. That part, man, that really fucked with me as a kid, because I'm trying to find some dude named Al. Because I was like, God, I don't know, like 3 or something, watching my dad play that, and I was like, whoa. That does not look very good. Really messed with me.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. Or worse. She'll suffer the same fate I did. I spent a lifetime in this place. Going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only 2 options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Interesting. So that takes us back in time, apparently. And he didn't like it, so he came back and hung himself and somehow turned to gold when he died. Modern clothing. Must be Alba. How is that possible? Yeah, whenever you die, you turn into gold. Wonderful. Lovely. Really lovely. And all of that happened in an hour or something? Said she was waiting here for an hour? Young Roman woman in a state of panic. How much one of these fucking golden, like, how much one of these would sell for? I mean, that is if they are 100% solid gold. Then that would be valuable as fuck. So close now. Yeah. 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 Begging the gods for mercy. Not much further. Yeah, no, this, nope. This ain't it. Remains of a human. Except they're not gold. Lighter. Must be what Alan used to light all these torches. We're still just gonna leave that there, huh? This way. Alright. Here we fucking go, I guess. Photo mode. Okay. Oh, that's a cool mosaic. Very cool mosaic. And wow, here we are. Figure out how to return to my original time. That's it? That's just...
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime. You're not from around here, right?
No, not really.
Oh,
No.
I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you? And what were you doing in the shrine?
Yeah, we come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head?
Yeah, that's it.
That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Yeah, what's today's
We
date?
sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly?
Ah, so it's 65 CE.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Wonderful. What are your
Not
laws?
laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
All right,
Follow
lead
me.
the way.
When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Where the hell is this light coming from?
Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today Drinks at my bar for free tonight.
You still got gold statues.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Hey.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her.
Seriously, we're
Up here on the
underground.
right
Where is
is
this
the
light
chasm.
coming from?
If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the Forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
Use
was
me
that?
for what?
What did you just say?
Nothing at all,
I
buddy.
said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
Alright.
The
Let's
only
just...
thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
What, you get turned into gold? Like, what? Hello?
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name.
Yes,
To
very
actually
curious, I'm sure.
Curious? Excellent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you. And
You
I'll
summoned
get to
me?
that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Can't say I
Nor
have.
could I, until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die.
Huh?
You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold.
Okay, yep.
We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
These questions will be available later. What counts as a sin?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Sure, makes sense to me.
Agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Yeah.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
Yeah, you're right.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
Y'all dead.
I have imagined it. Our downfall 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
So you see, so Al got frustrated, he couldn't find his way out, so he hung himself, and then since suicide is considered sin, he turned everybody into gold. Alright. It all makes sense.
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina.
How?
I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
Yeah, we did see those human remains.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you
Well,
investigate?
I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election.
Yeah, that's right.
The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Okay, do you have any
Do
suspects?
you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Fair enough. Yeah, will you help me back?
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Sure, why not? Yeah, that's all the questions.
So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
Yeah, we're in.
Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
You got it,
And
boss.
one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
This would prioritize the new quest, showing its objective markers only. Yeah, I'll get right on it. Okay. Press tab. Objective markers. Click the eye icon beside it. Alright. Denarius. Inscribed stone tablet. Yes. Most interesting. This is kind of a cool premise.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Yeah, you got it. I don't even know who Scintilla is, but you got it. So there's only 23, well, 24. Oh man, you got boned. Somebody broke the golden rule. Excuse me?
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
What's your story?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads.
How'd you end up here?
Same way as everyone else.
Okay, that's very descriptive.
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Great danger? What?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
No, that's not a good idea. I think it's best that nobody has weapons.
If you were dealing with what I am...
Well, what are you dealing with, man? You gotta help me out here.
None of your business. In Troite ipsum commensula.
Come.
If we have to.
You know, way out
If
of here?
I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
Probably not.
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Live through a pandemic.
Ah, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. Well, we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course I am.
It's our job to be buddy-buddy with everybody.
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin.
Ooh.
How's he going to protect us?
That's rough.
Fine.
Alright, I'll be
Whatever.
going now. Whatever. The Shrine of Apollo. Ah.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly."
Ooh.
Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Yikes.
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Uh-huh. That's dangerous
Then
talk.
you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
Why am I here? Because the game wanted me to be here. Isn't it obvious?
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
Very good idea.
You know why.
How am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
Nobody has a weapon.
We all went along with the magistrate's
God, stupid idiots.
Isn't
you?
the great temple majestic?
Yes, extremely.
A new face, Arve,
Fear
and may
is
Vesta
proof
watch
of a
over you.
degenerate mind.
I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without
Oh,
due
pardon me.
formality or courtesy
Vestal
ask,
priestess.
"What is your story?"
What should I have
The
done?
proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
Yeah. How'd you end up here?
No, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river, unconscious, and sent me in here.
Say. And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
It's an older name, but not uncommon where I'm from.
I see. I wonder if... No.
What are you gonna say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Sure.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
I'll see what I can do. No way out of here?
I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What about
I'm
the golden
quite
rule?
sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Yeah, why not?
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Well, let's try this. Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing a test, and they don't have to tell you what the rules
A
are.
cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose. It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger.
Malleolus.
Why do you ask?
Who's allowed to
All of
vote?
the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Oh, yes, that's right.
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me either.
Ancient Rome.
There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Eh?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
What's your role?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Okay.
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination. As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Yeah, never
you
mind.
wish.
We don't need to hold it now. We're definitely not done
Certainly.
enough for that.
And did you notice anything? A pattern?
Nothing
Oh,
really.
well
Not
then.
yet.
Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Alright, we'll be going
Come
now.
back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
What? Where'd you go? Oh, alright. Bye, I guess. Alright, well this is intriguing, to say the least. Nice little mystery type game going on here. I could see maybe revisiting this at some point. Definitely a strong contender for the interesting bucket of games we've got going on here. Anyway, we've run a little late, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching, as always. And we'll see you in the next one when we come back.